Good morning, students. I am Santan, working as a physics faculty in Target English Medium School. Today, in the chapter of force, we are discussing about think and discuss. So, dear students, everyone, listen carefully. Already, I sent textbook in the format of PDF. I send it through the WhatsApp. I hope every student will be download that one. That's why. Okay, when you are seeing this video, you must be open the textbook. In the textbook, okay. So inside the textbook, in the chapter of force, okay, they given think and discussed in a rectangle box. That concept we discussed in this time. The think and discuss are represented the application oriented questions based on that particular topics. That's why I would like to explain that concepts in this video. That's why everyone will be listen very carefully and watch this video. Now let me come to that one. Okay. So what is the first one means? A book is placed on a table. Initially, it is in the rest position. Listen very carefully. So, it is a table. A book, where can say that? A book we are placed here. Like this one. Book or brick, anything we can say that like. Okay. So a brick or a book is placed on the table as shown in the figure. Initially, the book or brick is in which position? Rest position. When so on the book, is frictional force is acting or not? That is the our question is there. Okay, one second listen. When a box or book is placed on a table, initially it is in the rest position. Is frictional force is acting on it or not? Explained. That is the thing that discussed. It is in the page number 5. Is there? Okay, let me come to this one. So I will explain. So the book is in which position? Rest position on the table. Okay. Now, first of all, before going to the friction concept, how many forces are acting on the brick? Okay, when it is in the rest. Simply, your idea is there in the downward. Okay, gravitational force is acting. The table is made up of either wood or iron. It is a solid surface. That's why. So the solid surface of the table is apply some force on the brick vertically upward. It is the normal force. That is the clearly. Okay. So means two forces are acting on the brick. Okay. What the forces knowing you about the contact and non-contact forces? Gravitational force is downward and normal force is upward. But here they are not asking about the normal and gravitational. They are asking which force? Frictional force. We know that frictional force is always acting opposite to the motion of a body. Okay. If just you answer the brick is motion in this direction, then frictional force is in opposite. If the brick is in this direction in motion, frictional force is in opposite direction. Okay. Anyway, now just we come to that one. So when the book is in the rest position, means it is not in the motion. That's why during such condition, the frictional force is acting on the book or not. That is the question. Now here, is frictional force is acting on the book? Do you know the answer? Yes, the frictional force is acting on the book. But some members are how the doubt. Sir, here the book is not in the motion. Then how we can say that frictional force is acting? Because according to the statement of frictional force, you are understanding that friction is a force. It is always opposite the motion of a body in the relative motion. Relative motion is nothing but when this body is in the motion. It is always opposite which one? Means frictional force is always opposes the motion of a body in the relative motion. Okay, that's why here. But body is not in the motion. It is in which position? Rest position. But how we can say friction is present here means okay. One thing is there. Actually, what is the main reason for the causes of friction means every surface of the body, that is either upper surface or lower surface or side one, every surface of the body will be have some elevations and depressions like this. Elevations and depressions. This is called elevation depression. Elevation depression. The elevation and depressions of the surface of a body is mainly causes for the frictional force. Means when one body is placed on the another body. Okay. So the lower surface of the upper body and the surface of the lower body. So these two are physically contacted. At that time, the elevations and depressions of the two bodies are interacting with each other. That is the main reason of frictional force. That's why here, when a book is placed on the surface of the table, due to the internal forces, the book tends to move in this direction. For example, that's why. But due to the irregularities or due to the elevations and depressions on the book, the frictional force is acting in the opposite direction. That's why. What is the question? First of all, listen very carefully. A book is placed on the table. Initially, it is in the rest. Is frictional force is acting or not? Means as frictional force is acting. How? So means every surface of the body will have elevations and depressions. These elevations and depressions are mainly causes for the frictional force. When a book is placed on the table, okay, so that due to the internal forces, that book will be tends to move in the forward, then automatically in the backward, frictional force is acting. But why we can't able to see this one means the irregularities or elevations and depressions of the book and table both are strongly interlocked. That's why we can't able to see the moving, because of these two forces are equal in magnitude but in opposite direction. So this question is in the which page number? Page number 5. Next question number, another thing to discuss. A system of two bodies A and B are placed one upon the other as shown in the figure. Okay, how many forces are acting on these two bodies? Can mention. Okay, so this question is in the page number 7. Okay, so which textbook I sent to you for 8th standard in the PDF format. In the textbook, if you have opened the page number 7, so this thing can discuss is there. Listen very carefully. Two bodies, okay, A and B, placed one upon the other like as in this figure on the desert surface. Now on these two bodies, how many forces are acting? Okay, that is our one is there. Okay, now let me come. So here, listen very carefully. A and B is keep one upon the other. Means B object is placed over the A. That is the meaning. Now here, whatever that, this is totally, we can say a system. Means a single object. Now, okay, so when you are mentioned these two bodies are a single object because of A and B are in physical contact. That's why we are considered as a single system. On this one, okay, in downward force, which force is acting? Gravitational force. In vertically upward, which force is acting? Normal force. So that's why we can write how many forces are acting on the two objects. Two forces are acting. Gravitational force is acting vertically downward. Okay, downward. Next, normal force is acting vertically upward. So means okay, you can write either in the words or directly in the diagram also you are showing like this one. Answer is correct. Listen very carefully. Two objects A and B as shown in the figure, they are placed like this one. Okay, how many forces are acting on the A and B respectively means here. Okay, B object is placed over on the A. Now these two are physically in contact. That's why for understanding of you, these two objects you can say as a single system. Then it is very easy to you to understand how many forces are acting. That's why on the A and B, these two are referenced as a common object. That's why gravitational force is acting downward and normal force is acting upward. And next, third, think and discuss. Okay. So what is the third one means? Okay, why it is necessary to separate normal and frictional force even though both are in contact forces. Okay, but why you can write separately? Listen very carefully. Makes simply for understanding of you. Okay, so how many contact forces are there? 4: muscular force, normal force, frictional force, and tensional force. These 4 forces are under the category of which one? Normal contact forces. Normal force is one of the contact force, and the frictional force is also one of the contact force. But why normal and frictional force both are, we can write separately but not write as a common? That is the question. Okay, are understanding or not? So now why you can write separately? You can explain with 2 suitable reasons for understanding of you. I will tell 2 reasons about this one. First thing, okay, simply normal force is balancing the which force? Gravitational force. Is it correct or not? Frictional force is balancing the gravitational force? No. Frictional force is balance the which force? Applied force. Listen very carefully. Okay. So normal force is balancing the gravitational force. Frictional force is balancing the applied force. Frictional force is not balancing the gravitational. Like the same way, normal force is not balanced the applied force. That is the first thing. And second one, normal force is normal force is acting always vertically upward. Frictional force is always acting horizontal one. Listen very carefully. So normal force is balanced the which force? Gravitational force. Frictional force is balanced which force? Applied force on the object. Okay, next second one. Normal force is always acting vertically upward. Frictional force is always acting opposite to the motion of the object. That's why these 2 are the best reasons to write normal and frictional force are separated under the contact force. Once again, listen very carefully. Normal force is balanced with which force? Gravitational force. Because of normal force is upward, gravitational force is downward. Frictional force means it is a horizontal force. Because of body is moving along the horizontal, but body is acting in the opposite direction. Next one, normal force is always acting vertically upward, but frictional force is acting opposite to the direction of the body. That's why normal and frictional force, these 2 are, we can write in separated under the contact force. So previous one and this one, these 2 are in the page number 3. Sorry, page number 7. In the textbook. Next, fourth thing and discuss. So what is the given means? A cricket ball of mass is M. It is thrown vertically upward with a certain initial speed. Okay, listen very carefully. So it is that one. Okay. A person is there. Here, a person is thrown a ball vertically upward. That is the question. Okay. So means when a person is thrown a cricket ball of mass is vertically upward. During these conditions, it is the starting point. It is nothing but ground per person's made. Okay. So when the person will be projected a ball from his hand, that is recognized as a ground level. That's why when the person is projected, it is the point A. I can say that. Okay, it is the point B. It is the point C. I can say the total 3. So point C is nothing but maximum height. or simply you can write H maximum. It is okay H by 2 maximum. So means A is the starting point, B is the ending point of a body during its vertical upward journey, and B is the midpoint between the A and C. That's why C is a maximum height we are consider. Then automatically B is the half of the maximum height because of it is the mid place between the A and C. Now let me come. The body is moving to which direction? Vertically upward. What is our concept? So a person is projected or thrown a ball vertically upward into the air. Here you can consider the air resistance is neglected. Air resistance means air frictional force you are not considered. Then on the ball how many forces are acting? Listen very carefully. So on the ball how many forces are acting? Only one force. Is it correct or not? Because of when the ball is in the motion. So actually when the ball is in vertically upward, the air friction. So our applied force is acting which direction? Upward direction. And in downward direction, which force is acting? Gravitational force. That's why first of all, when the ball is at the maximum height, how many forces are acting? When the ball is at the half of the maximum height, how many forces are acting? Now let me come to that point. First point. At H by 2 maximum means at the half of the point. Means the body is not reaches to the highest point, it is in the path. Means still it is going. That's why at this point on the body, gravitational force is continuously acting downward. That is you know that. That's why. So at H by 2, which force is acting? First one A is gravitational force is acting downward, and B is second one. Our applied force is also acting which direction? Upward direction. Otherwise, our applied force on the object is 0. Then what will happen? Only one force is acting on the ball. That is the gravitational. That's why automatically ball will be fall onto the earth from point B only. But at the point B, the body is still moving vertically upward. Means what is the meaning? At the point B, our applied force means initially to move the body vertically upward, we give some velocity speed or not. That force is also acting on the body. That's why our applied force is acting on the ball in vertically upward, and the gravitational force is acting vertically downward. That's why applied force. Listen, at point B or at the half of the maximum height on the ball, our applied force is acting vertically upward, and gravitational force is acting vertically downward. Means mainly two forces are acting at point B: applied force and gravitational force. And second one is at the H maximum. Means at the maximum height. Maximum height is nothing but so the maximum vertical distance traveled by a body when a body is projected vertically upward, that is called maximum height simply. So that's why the maximum distance traveled by a projected body in vertically upward into the air. That's why from point A the body is projected. You know that if a body is projected vertically upward, it reaches to certain height. After that point again return to ground. Return to ground means at that point what will be happen? Our initial force will be 0 because of means when you are projected the body. So initially you are projected with certain speed. That's why the body will have more applied force on the body and less in the gravitational force. That's why it means our applied force is more than which force? Gravitational force. That's why body is going to vertically upward. But here our applied force is acting only one time. But gravitational force is continuously acting on the ball in vertically downward. That's why the speed of the ball is gradually decreases. After reaches to certain height, its velocity will become 0. It's nothing but our applied force is C's are 0. That's why at point C, our maximum height, applied force is 0. Only which force is there? Gravitational force. That's why the body is returned to back. Only one force is acting at maximum height. That is the gravitational force. Listen very carefully. So a cricket ball of mass is m. It is projected vertically upward with initial velocity u. So during this direction, during in this situation, you are not consider the air resistance or air frictional force. Then so how many forces are acting on the body when the body is at the half of the maximum height means when the body is at the half of the maximum height on the body, two forces are acting. One is our applied force still is acting vertically upward and gravity force is acting vertically downward. At the maximum height, our applied force is 0. Only one force is acting, that is only gravitational force. Next one, okay, I think that is okay. This is the fifth one. So totally four things can discuss. We are discussing that previous fourth one, cricket ball. That is I think in the page number 9. Next another one is there. That is also discussed. Okay. So what is this one means? They are given a bar magnet and a steel bar. Listen very carefully. They are given two identical bars. Two identical means the shape and the size and the length all are same. Simply, are understanding or not? So, okay, they are given two identical bars. Among the two bars, one is the bar magnet and another one is a steel bar. Okay. So now how we can find which is a magnet and which is a iron bar without using any other material, with help of only these two materials, how we can find that, okay, among the two bars which is a magnet. Listen very carefully. Okay, so but here generally in case of a bar magnet they are painted, okay, with separate colors. Steel bar is in normal silver gray color, iron bar is painted, but at the same time one side, okay, they will be put one dot is there, white dot, that is represented north pole, another one is the south pole. But here what they say that, so we are given two identical bars, one is a magnet, another one is the, okay, steel bar, but both are painted with the same color. Okay, means, okay, this is the first bar, it is the second bar. It is painted with one color, it is also painted with the same color. Means, for example, it is painted with orange or black, it is also painted with the same color only. But among the two bars, one is the which one? Magnet, another one is the non-magnet, is nothing but it is a steel bar. But okay, among these two, which is magnet? Among these two bars, which is magnet? How we can find? Okay, which method? By using which method we can find means, that is the question. Are understanding the question? Okay, let me come to that one. So if they are not painted with the same, then automatically we can say one is the bar magnet, one is the steel bar. Okay, but here both are painted with the same color. That's why there is no scope to find out directly. That's why we can follow some, okay, rules or methods. Then automatically we can find. Okay, so think here is very carefully. Normally, you have some idea is there. Maybe some members are thinking this second bar magnet is bring to the first one. Both are attracted. If this one is brings to this one, both are attracted on both sides. Then we can say that, okay. So it is brings to here, both are attracted. It is brings to here, both are attracted. That's why we can't say that which is a magnet, because of steel bar is attracted by either south pole or north pole of the bar magnet at any side. That's why with help of the attraction force we can find out which is a magnet and which is the non-magnet or steel bar. And the second thing is the simplest thing. Okay. Generally, how we can find, okay, the given bar is a magnet means by the two methods. One is the attractive or repulsive method. Second one is directive property method. So listen very carefully, all of you students. Okay, so among the two bars, which bar is a magnet and while the other is, okay, non-magnet or steel bar? How we can find? After both are coated with the same color means two, okay, by using the two methods, any one of the method we can use it, we can find, but which is the exact suitable method means second method only. Because of already we follow the first method. In the first method, either the first bar is bringing near to the second bar, or second bar bringing near to the first bar. In both cases, we are observing that on the both sides, both are attracted, but they are not repulsive. So that's why by using the attractive method, we cannot find out which is the magnet and which is the bar magnet according to the previous situation. Means according to our given situation. But with help of the directive property method, we can find it easily. So how we can find how we can use the directive property to find the among the two which is the magnet? Means simply. So now we can take the two bars. Both are freely suspended with help of a rigid support through the inextensible thread. As shown in the figure line. Now after freely suspended in the air, just slightly we can rotate the two bars. If we can slightly rotate the two bars by applying a little bit force and leave it. And after some time, we are observing that among the two bars, which bar is exactly comes along the north-south direction of the Earth magnetic field, that bar is a magnet, other one is a non-magnet or steel bar. Listen very carefully. So only the bar magnet only during in freely suspended, it always comes to the north-south direction of the Earth magnetic field. We know that this is the north, it is the south. That's why, along the north-south direction, Earth magnetic field is there. Due to that one only means, if a magnet only, always, it will comes to the north-south direction, but not a steel bar. The steel bar will be showing some different directions. That's why. So what we can do here, both bar magnets are both bars are freely suspended with help of the rigid support through the inextensible thread. And both are slightly rotated by applying the little bit force. And after some time, which bar exactly comes to the north-south direction, that bar is which one? Magnet, other one is a non-magnet. This is the best method to find among the two identical bars are painted with the same color to find which is the magnet and which is the non-magnet. It is also in the page number 10. It is in page number 10. It is very important. Next, another one is there. One more thing. So generally we know that wrestling means WWW. Most of the peoples are interested in seeing the wrestling competition. So now our concept is belonging to in the play arm wrestling. Arm wrestling means both are arm wrestling. Some movies are there. Sultan. In the Dangal movie is also there. So in the game of arm wrestling. With two. Means simply what is the question means? You are playing arm wrestling with your friend. On your arm. And direction of your bodies, how many forces are acting? Understanding or not? And so write the name of the forces and how we can say that which one will be won the game based on the rules and regulations of that one, and draw a free body diagram. Listen very carefully. You are the one of the person. You are playing a arm wrestling with your friend. And so according to the net force concept, who won the game? And name the forces which are acting on your arm and direction of the motion of your two bodies, and draw a free body diagram. This is the question in the think and discuss. It is in the page number So I forgot it. It is the what is the page number? Now let me come to that one. So the arm wrestling, the pole point is there in the circle. It is the circle. Here one person, here another person, generally. Okay, so both arms are there, tired. Okay, tired here means this one. Both are fighting with each other. This person is push this one by applying this force. This person is push this person by applying this. This is the A person. It is the B person. Means A person is trying to push the B person in this direction. Means according to the electromagnetic field, east, west, north, south. That's why A person is push the B person towards the east and B is push the A person towards the west. Means okay, we take up their arms. By using the net concept force, okay, how we can find? Means simply we take up this whole line, I mentioned that outer line. Okay. So if A person is okay, apply the more force than the B person. Means A person is applying the force and B is also applying the force at the same time. Is it correct or not? Okay. Among the A and B, which person is applying the more force on the other one, then that person will be won the game. Is it correct or not? Because for example, A is applied the 10 Newton initially, B is also applied the 10 Newton. Both are applied. This 10 Newton applies west east, this 10 Newton is applied the west. Both are applied the same magnitude but in opposite direction. Then what will be happen? The resultant force is 0. Is it correct or not? F of net is equals to A person is applied the F1 force and B is applied the F2 force. But for the F1 force, it is in which direction? Opposite. It is the F1 force, it is the F2. That's why F1 minus F2. 10 minus 10, that is equals to 0 Newton. That's why the resultant force is acting on the persons is 0. That's why the persons cannot be moved either this side or that side in the same position. But now just you can say that A person is applying the 20 Newton force. Then what will happen? 20, 10 Newton. In which direction? Due east. That's why means so A person is applied the 20 Newton on the B, but the B is applied the only 10 Newton. Then automatically, so the B person will become outside. Means A person will be won the game. That's why. So means simple listen very carefully. If you are playing an arm wrestling with your friend, okay, according to the net force, who won the game means okay. So when the two persons are playing arm wrestling, at that time among the two persons who apply the more force, that person will be won the game. That is the first thing. And how many forces are acting on the arm and direction of the two persons means here is it. Okay, so when you are both are holding your arms and you are push that person to that side, that person is pushed to you like this one. That's why arm movements is which one? Muscles. Now what is the muscles? That's why. So the muscles force is acting on both of them. Is it correct or not? First one is muscular force or muscle force. Okay, so the muscular force is acting on their arms in opposite direction. And second one, okay, so when the A person will be trying to push, B person will be trying to move back, and the A person will be trying to okay this direction. If listen very carefully, if A is applying the more force on the B, okay, so then B is in this direction, A is also in this direction. Then in the opposite, what is acting? Frictional force. That's why, okay, on the two persons, okay, opposite to their motions, okay, frictional force is acting. Listen very carefully. If B is applying the more force on the A will become to this, B is comes to same direction. Then in this direction, which force is acting? Opposite. That's why for the motion of the two persons in opposite direction, which force is acting? Frictional force. Listen very carefully. Okay, how many forces are acting on the persons? Okay, so totally 4 forces are acting on the persons. One thing, in the downward directions on the two persons, gravitational force is acting. Okay, through their legs, because of the person's legs are contact with the floor. That's why through the two legs in vertically upward, normal force is acting. N of A, N of B means normal force is acting on the A person, normal force is acting on the B person by the rigid floor. So next one, okay, if the two persons are moving in one direction, that is applied force. In the opposite, which force? Okay, frictional force. Totally, four forces are acting on the person's muscular force, gravitational force, normal force, and frictional force. And draw the free body diagram like this. Okay, if both are moving like the same direction, apply a force in the opposite frictional force. That's why. So on the two persons in downward gravitational force, on the two persons in upward normal forces. If both are means A apply the more force on the B, just you can say that. So both are moving into the same direction. Means B is backward, A is forward, but both are moving in the same. That's why in this direction apply force, but in the opposite, okay, frictional force. That is the free body diagram. Next, another one is there. Does the pressure have direction? Explain. It is also I am asking in the slip test. One question is there. Does pressure have direction? Explain. Okay. P is equals to, we know that F by A, force per unit area. Pressure have the direction? No. Pressure does not have any direction. Listen very carefully. Does pressure have direction? No. Pressure does not have any direction. Why? What is the reason? Means pressure is a scalar quantity. Pressure is a scalar quantity. Scalar quantity means a physical quantity which has only magnitude but not the direction. But how we can say pressure is a scalar quantity means, okay, according to the kinetic theory of gases, okay, or gases concept, we can say that the pressure is acting in all directions inside a gas. Understanding or not? Inside a gas, the pressure is acting in direction, all direction. All direction means, do you say that in particular direction? No, because of it is acting vertically upward, vertically downward, and sideward. That's why pressure is acting at a point inside a gas or inside a liquid in all directions at a time. Due to that one, pressure does not have any particular direction. And also, okay, so generally the atmospheric pressure is measured by using a device that is called barometer. It is invented by the Torricelli scientists. That's why to measure the atmospheric pressure with help of the barometer, we can find only the magnitude but not showing the direction in the barometer. That's why we can say that pressure does not have any direction because of it is a scalar quantity. Listen very carefully. Does pressure have direction? No. Pressure does not have any direction because it is a scalar quantity. The pressure is acting all directions at a point inside the gas. One more example. Okay, if when you can find the atmospheric pressure by using a barometer, with help of the barometer, we can find how much pressure is acting. Okay. Only but not showing any direction. That's why pressure have only magnitude but not the direction. Okay, so all of you listen. Okay, all of you students, I hope everyone will understand very carefully. These all, okay, think and discuss it in your textbook. Okay, in the pages are there already told what is the page number also. That's why by seeing, okay, by seeing page numbers in our physics subject in the first chapter, force. Okay, so totally how many think and discussions are there? 7 think and discussions are there. Each and every think and discuss I will explain in this video very carefully. That's why by seeing the which one textbook through the PDF format, if or virtual that is, or directly is there, by opening the textbook we can read the question and observing what answer I told is correct or not. After that also, if you have any doubt is there still, you ask me through the WhatsApp. Okay, then I will be given some more clarification about that regarding question. Okay, thank you.